I've spent the last few days digging through every source I could find because honestly, the information is all over the place. Some brands have made statements, some haven't, and you're left standing in the dairy aisle wondering what to grab. So here's what I've found. This is going to be comprehensive, so I'm breaking it down by supermarkets, delivery services, regional dairies, and then I'll give you the full context about what's actually happening with these trials. Number 1. Waitrose, their essential and organic milk lines. Waitrose doesn't use Bovaer. They confirmed this directly to customers who asked. They source from a dedicated pool of Waitrose dairy farmers who aren't involved in the trials. Now, Waitrose tends to be a bit more expensive than other supermarkets, but if it's your local shop or you're already shopping there, you can grab their own brand milk with confidence. What's interesting about Waitrose is they've been quite transparent about their supply chain. They have long-standing relationships with specific farming groups, and those farmers aren't part of the Arla network that's doing the Bovaer trials. And this is actually one of the advantages of retailers who maintain their own dedicated supply chains rather than sourcing from the major dairy cooperatives. It gives them more control, and it gives you more certainty about what you're buying. Waitrose also does a range of organic milk options if you want that extra guarantee, but even their non-organic essential line is fine. They've been pretty responsive to customer inquiries about this, which is more than you can say for some retailers who've been a bit vague in their responses. Number 2, the various organic options. So here's how to make this easy when you're actually shopping. Easiest option, grab your most trusted organic brand. It's automatically Bovaer free because of organic standards. Almost every major supermarket has their own brand options with just a few exceptions. There's Tesco Organic Free-Range Milk, M&S Organic Milk, Morrison's Organic Milk, Co-op Organic Milk, to name a few. The lack of clear labeling is the core problem here. If products using Bovaer were clearly marked, people could make informed choices, and this will be much less contentious. But that's not the system we have right now, so we're left doing this kind of research to figure out what's what. The good news is there are plenty of options. Whether you're shopping at major supermarkets, using delivery services, or supporting local dairies, there are Bovaer-free choices available at various price points. You're not backed into a corner with only one expensive option. From budget-friendly supermarket brands to premium organic milk, the range is there. And more companies are likely to make clear statements about their position as they see the customer demand for transparency. This issue has shown that people care about what goes into their food, and they're willing to switch brands and change shopping habits to match their preferences. That's actually quite powerful. Number 3, Graham's Family Dairy. And this might be the most important brand on this entire list, Graham's Family Dairy. This is Scotland's largest independent dairy, and you can find their products at Tesco, Asda, Morrison's, Sainsbury's and Waitrose. They've confirmed that none of their farming partners use Bovaer. And it's not just milk, they do cheese, butter, cream, yogurt, ice cream, quark and skyr. So if you're in any of those supermarkets and you see Graham's, that's a solid option across multiple product categories. What makes Graham's particularly valuable is the distribution. They're in 5 major supermarket chains, which means most people in the UK have access to their products. You're not limited to one specific shop. And because they're a large independent rather than part of a cooperative, they have direct relationships with their farming partners and can make clear statements about what those farms are doing. They were actually one of the first major brands to publicly confirm their position on Bovaer, and they did it clearly without any corporate waffle. Just a straight answer, none of our partners use it. That's the kind of transparency people have been asking for. Now, Graham's products might not always be the cheapest option on the shelf, but they're competitively priced and the quality is good. Their milk is particularly popular in Scotland, but you can find it throughout the UK now. The ice cream is worth trying if you haven't had it before, and their quark and skyr products are decent alternatives if you're looking at high-protein options. But the main thing is, if you're standing in Tesco or Asda or any of those other supermarkets and you want a quick, easy option that you know is Bovaer-free, look for the Graham's branding. It's usually in the standard milk section, and their packaging is pretty distinctive with the red and white branding. Number 4, Booths in the Northwest. Up in the Northwest, if you have a Booths near you, their milk comes from Wyke Farms, which is South Lake's organic milk, and they've confirmed they're Bovaer free. Now, Booths is a regional chain, so not everyone will have access to them. They operate mainly in Lancashire, Cheshire, Cumbria and Yorkshire. If you're outside that area, this won't help you, but for those who do have a Booths nearby, it's a good option. Booths have a reputation for quality. They're often compared to Waitrose in terms of their product selection and standards. They're a family-owned business that's been operating since 1847, so they have those long-established relationships with local suppliers. The Morford Farms connection is particularly good because it's genuinely local supply. The farms are right there in the South Lakes, and because it's organic, you get that double guarantee. The price point at Booths tends to be higher than your Aldi's and Lidl's, but it's comparable to other premium supermarkets. If you're already shopping there for other reasons, their milk is a safe bet. Number 5. Milk and More Delivery Service. Milk and More, the big national delivery service, confirmed they're not involved in Bovaer trials, and neither are their partner farms. They deliver across most of the UK, and you can get the glass bottle option if you want. Now, milk delivery services are having a bit of a renaissance at the moment, partly because of concerns like this, but also because people are thinking more about plastic waste and supporting local supply chains. Milk and More has been around in various forms for decades. They used to be Dairy Crest's delivery service, and they've expanded their range beyond just milk. You can get eggs, bread, juice, all sorts of things delivered to your doorstep in the morning. The glass bottle option is particularly popular because you're not adding to plastic waste, and there's something quite satisfying about the traditional milk bottle on the doorstep. The service operates in most of England and parts of Wales. You order through their website or app, and you can pause deliveries when you're away or adjust your order from week to week. Price-wise, it's more expensive than buying milk from a supermarket. You're paying for the convenience of delivery and for the more direct supply chain, but if those things matter to you, and particularly if you want to be certain about where your milk is coming from, it's worth considering. They've been quite upfront about their position on Bovaer, which has actually brought them new customers. People are willing to pay a bit more for that certainty and transparency. And because they're a delivery service with direct farm relationships, they can make clear statements about what their partner farms do and don't use. Number 6. McQueen's Dairies. In Scotland, McQueen's Dairies has been advertising fresh milk from Bovaer-free farms. Their director publicly confirmed none of their farmers use it. McQueen's operates mainly in central Scotland, covering Glasgow, Edinburgh and the surrounding areas. They're a family-run business that's been delivering milk since 1975, so they've got established relationships with their farming partners. What's interesting about McQueen's is how proactive they've been about the Bovaer issue. They didn't wait for customers to ask, they put out statements and updated their website to make it clear where they stand. That kind of proactive communication is exactly what people want. They do doorstep delivery in the traditional sense, early morning drops in reusable glass bottles. They also deliver to offices and cafes. The product range includes various types of milk, cream, butter, eggs and some other basics. If you're in their delivery area and you want a straightforward Scottish dairy that's been clear about their position, McQueen's is a good shout. The pricing is reasonable for a delivery service, and people who use them tend to stick with them because the service is reliable and the milk is fresh.
Number 7. Parker Dairies. If you're in London, Parker Dairies serves central London and the East End with Bovaer-free milk. London has quite a few independent dairies still operating, which is actually unusual for a major city. Most places have completely consolidated into supermarket supply chains, but London has maintained some of these traditional delivery services. Parker Dairies is one of them. They cover a specific area of London, so you'd need to check if you're in their delivery zone, but if you are, they're doing doorstep delivery of milk, cream, eggs and other essentials. The benefit of these London dairies is they're typically sourcing from farms in the home counties, so it's relatively local supply even though you're in a major city. And because they're independent businesses, they can make quick decisions and clear statements about their sourcing practices. Number 8. Wyke Farms cheese. For cheese specifically, Wyke Farms confirmed they and their farming partners don't use Bovaer.
You can find Wyke Farms cheese in most major supermarkets, and if you buy Sainsbury's own brand organic cheese, that's actually made by Wyke Farms, so same thing. Wyke Farms is one of the UK's largest cheese producers, and they're also the UK's first national cheese brand to be 100% self-sufficient in green energy, which is interesting because the whole Bovaer discussion is supposedly about environmental concerns. Wyke Farms has taken a different approach to sustainability, focusing on renewable energy and traditional farming practices, rather than synthetic feed additives. Their cheddar is what they're best known for, and you'll find it in the cheese sections at most supermarkets. The fact that they also supply Sainsbury's own brand organic cheese is useful information, because own brand is usually cheaper. So if you're at Sainsbury's and you want Wyke Farms cheese but don't want to pay the branded price, the organic own brand is the same producer. They make everything from mild to extra mature cheddar, and they also do red Leicester, double Gloucester, and some flavoured variants. Quality-wise, they're solid, not artisan fancy cheese, but good everyday cheddar that melts well and tastes like proper cheese should. Number 9. Northwest Regional Dairies. Now, if you want to support local dairies, here's what I found by region, starting with the Northwest, because there are quite a few options there. JD Milk in Preston confirmed their dairies aren't participating in trials. They're a family-run business that delivers across Lancashire and parts of Greater Manchester. Lancashire Farm makes yogurts that you can find in various shops, and they've confirmed no Bovaer use. Their yogurts are actually stocked in quite a few independent shops and some co-op stores, so they're not just available through direct delivery. Our Bretherton Limited operates around Leyland and Chorley. All their dairy products are Bovaer free. They do milk, cream, and they supply various local shops and cafes. G&S Dairies does local delivery in Newport and Cardiff, completely Bovaer free. They're one of the few remaining traditional dairies in South Wales. And Shones Dairy in Cheshire has confirmed all their milk and dairy produce doesn't use it. Shones has been operating since 1920, so they're another one of these long-established family businesses with direct farm relationships. What's good about these regional dairies is they're often supplying local shops as well as doing direct deliveries, so even if you don't want to sign up for a delivery service, you might find their products in your local corner shop or independent grocer. They're also typically more responsive to customer questions than major corporations because you're often dealing directly with the people who own and run the business. The downside is availability. If you're not in their specific delivery area, you're out of luck. But if you are, you're getting fresh, local milk from known sources, and these businesses genuinely appreciate the support. Number 10. Colitz Farm. Over in Essex, Colitz Farm is a raw milk producer that confirmed they're Bovaer free. Again, this is raw, unpasteurized milk, so you'd need to go to the farm or arrange delivery through their approved channels. And up in Scotland, Mosgiel Organic Farm in Ayrshire publicly stated that Bovaer is not on the menu. They were quite clear about it, and they put out statements on social media making their position known. Mosgiel does organic milk, and they've built up a following among people who care about traditional farming methods and organic standards. They deliver across Scotland, and they're quite active in communicating with their customers about their farming practices. Number 11. Our bonus picks. Back to organic options, because there are some good brands worth mentioning beyond what I've already covered. Proper Good Dairy is fully organic, so you get that certification guarantee. The Estate Dairy confirmed they're Bovaer free. Ivy House Dairy in the West Country does organic Jersey milk. Jersey milk is richer and creamier than standard milk because Jersey cows produce milk with higher fat content. It's popular among people who want that extra richness for their tea or coffee. Gazegill Organics does A2 raw milk, completely antibiotic and Bovaer free. A2 milk is from cows that only produce the A1 beta-casein protein rather than A1, and some people find it easier to digest. It's become quite popular in recent years. And Organic Herd is Soil Association certified, which is the main organic certification body in the UK. All of these have that organic guarantee, so you know what you're getting. The trade-off is always price. Organic milk costs more to produce, the certification has costs attached to it, the farming practices are different, and that shows up in the retail price. But if you can afford it and you want the certainty, organic certification does the work for you.